Hello everyone, this is Dr. V.V.Kamesh, Professor, Mechanical Engineering Department, Aditya University, Surampalem. In this lecture, we would like to discuss about the types of constrained motion in a kinematic pairs. Okay. So, at the end of this lecture, a student will be able to explain the types of constrained motion. As earlier we know about a link or element of a machine. So, what is the link and what is the element? Already we know it is a rigid body element. So, let us take this pen as one element. So, this element is linked with some other element like this by means of a pin or by means of some other screw or pin or a hole like this. Okay. So, when two links are the elements of a machine, when in contact with each other by some means, right? It may be directly attached one over the another or by means of a dovetail joint, by means of a pin, right. Somehow we are making the joining or the contact between two links or elements of a machine. So, they will be in contact either with 1 second or 2 second, it does not matter, right. Then they are going to be called as a pair, right. Suppose if the relative motion between them is completely or successfully constrained. So, what is meant by this completely constrained, successfully constrained, that is in a definite direction, the pair is known as kinematic pair, right. If any two links are having in contact, whatever may be the type of motion, it is called a pair. So, to be called as a kinematic pair, it should be completely constrained or successfully constrained, right. Now, we like to know about what is meant by that constraint and what is meant by the types in it. So, the types of constrained motion, we are having three varieties. One is completely constrained, second one is incompletely constrained and third one is successfully constrained. Now, initially we need to know about constrained motion. Why the elements or the links are to be constrained? Why it is to be free, right? If you make the elements or the links of a particular pair or pairs to be free, right, you cannot make the exact moment of a particular link as you desire, right. The last item you need to listen very carefully, as you desire. Suppose I want a particular tip of a item or a link, right. It needs to trace the path of some other link, right. Just like in some pantograph or in some other element. Suppose I am drawing some circle here, another link it is to trace a bigger circle, right. If I am drawing a small circle, there the link has to traverse big circle, right, with the same contour, right. Let it be very small thing. So, here if you do not constrain the moment or the rotation or translation, whatever it might be, right. If you do not constrain, so the moment of the particular link, it will be random, right. So, it should not be random. So, you need to constrain and you need to direct that particular link to move in a particular direction only. So, suppose I am taking this link. So, this is one link. So, I am holding here, right, and I am moving this a small rotation towards left side or the right side. So, it is moving in a definite direction, right, because I am constraining at one end. So, how it is moving? It is moving through only one plane, either in left direction or the right direction. So, it is to rotate only, right. Suppose I am making, this is a plane surface, I am placing this link on this plane table, right, or let us take this is my hand, on my hand I am placing one link, right. Suppose I do not have any constraints, then the link can move translation like this or it can rotate like this, right. Now, you are able to see this, right. So, by holding at the middle I can rotate, by holding at the end I can rotate, by holding the tip itself I can rotate like this in the air. So, there is no proper way. So, compulsorily we need to constrain, right. So, the tool has to move in a definite direction, right. Now, in this you are having completely constrained incompletely constrained and successfully constrained. But in earlier definition, we told very clearly, to be called as a kinematic pair, I need to be, that means the pair need to be completely or successfully. But what about the middle, incompletely constrained? So it is not acceptable, right? So now we will see one by one. Now you can see this completely constrained, that means 100%. When the motion between a pair is limited to a definite direction irrespective of the direction of the force applied, then the motion is said to be a completely constrained motion. Now you remember the two elements of this definition. When the motion is limited to a definite direction, okay, how it will be? Irrespective of the direction of the force applied. So the force may be applied in any direction, right? But the moment of the particular link will be in only one direction. Then it is called completely constrained, right? Suppose, for example, you might have seen in the left diagram, you see, this is the square hole. A square hole is taken, and here this is the side view, this is the square bar, right? Actually, this will be like this. Suppose this is the element. So it may be a metal or it may be a wood, whatever it might be. Suppose this is hatched I am making, right? And in this is the square hole cut along this length, right? Now along this square hole, which item I can place inside? Only a square bar, right? Because this is the square hole, I cannot place any other shape. I can place only a square hole, right? Now a square bar is to be fed into this, so it is moving in a, suppose I am placing inside, right? Now for any element, how many moments I can have? Either translation from one place to other place or rotation or both. Now you observe, a square bar can move in only one direction. Got a point? So in this I am having, how you can see, I am drawing with the thick red line. In this direction only the square bar can move. Got a point, right? So it is 100% restricted to move in only one direction. That is called completely constrained, right? Suppose you are taking, and here you may have, instead of the square hole, suppose I am having circular hole. Then you may have some second doubt. If this is the square, square cannot rotate, right? Suppose it is the circle, it can rotate, okay. Now suppose the collar is not there, just it is hovering only like this, and this is the hatching I am making, and here a shaft from this end to this end, right? Now this is having the two possibilities. One is it can move along this length. Now you can see, suppose this is the cylinder or something, and now I am placing one shaft inside. Now I can move in this direction. Now you are able to see my hand and how I am moving this. So it is the linear direction it can move, right? Or otherwise on a particular position it can rotate like this. Have you seen or not? Right? So this is the rotation I can have, this is the linear translation I can have. So it is having two possibilities, right? So it can rotate either in clockwise or anti-clockwise direction, and it can have a translation from one end to other end, right? But we need to make it as completely constrained. So I need to have only rotation, right? So linear movement is to be stopped. So what I need to do? I need to put a collar here. So it cannot move, go inside, right? That's why to prevent the horizontal movement, we are putting some collars, right? Suppose the collars are removed, it cannot be called as a completely constrained, right? So the shaft can move only in one direction, so only rotation can be possible, right? So it is limited to a definite direction, right? So this is the meaning we need to understand here. If it is having only one direction that is limited for that particular kinematic pair, it is called completely constrained, okay? Now we will go to the incompletely constrained. When the motion between a pair can take place in more than one direction, then the motion is called incompletely constrained. You are having choices, right? Just like I told earlier, this is the block we are having and this is the round hole, right? So here I can have a rotation like this, or the shaft can move in and out. So two moments. One is translation along the axis and a rotation about the axis. Two possibilities are there for you, right? So the change in the direction of the impressed force may alter the direction of the relative motion between the pair. Got it? So the relative motion may change, but you are having two alternatives. Okay. So this is incompletely constrained. Once you need to have the word completely constrained, so only one moment need to be there. If you have the two moments, it is only incompletely constrained. Now you can see the right hand side diagram. In the footstep bearing, we are having, okay, initially you don't consider this load, forget about this, right? Just I am having only the bearing, footstep bearing is there, inside I am having some gap, in this gap the shaft is placed. Now how many movements are possible for the shaft? The shaft can move in and around, in and out, and the shaft can rotate like this, either clockwise or anti-clockwise, right? So just like this, the same thing is being transferred here with vertical direction, only vertical direction. But in the footstep bearing, you need to have only rotation, right? Then what you will do? You are putting some load in the axial direction. So this is axial direction. If you want to make only rotation, so you need to prevent the axial movement of the shaft. So how can you do? You prevent something. You put a heavy weight or you put a spring, right? So or you put a collar like this. The shaft movement along the axial direction, you can put a collar or you can put a load here, right? So along this axis, I can put a load, right? So finally, about your alternatives, you need to decide which one is preferable for you, okay? Now the third one, successfully constrained. So when the motion between the elements forming a pair is such that the constrained motion is not completed by itself, but by some other means, then the motion is said to be successfully constrained, right? Now you can see the earlier, it is actually incompletely constrained, but you made some modification, right? You added some load here. So you prevented the axial movement of the shaft. So what is the output? Now the shaft can move, axial movement is cancelled, now you are having only rotation. So it is applied to only one direction, then it is actually completely constrained. Suppose I am writing, okay, but this completely constrained, it not by means of its own configuration, by means of your external application. That's why instead of completely, I need to call it as successfully, okay. If it is by virtue of its geometry or the position, just like in the earlier case, if it is the round, right, if I am putting the collar, then it is successfully constrained, right. Now we will discuss one by one. The shaft and the footstep bearing are the piston reciprocating in the engine cylinder, right. Suppose this is the cylinder is there and this is the piston, right. So the piston will move in and around the cylinder. This is the cylinder and this is the piston, and it is having some piston rings or something around this, right. So this piston is to move only reciprocating. Now you remember one thing, the piston is circular and cylinder is also circular in cross section. right? And the piston diameter is less than the cylinder diameter. We know very well. Well, the gap is the thickness of the piston rings into 2 times. Suppose the cylinder is having 20 centimeters, the piston will have 18 centimeter. Let it be, right? 20 mm or 20 cm, whatever you take. Okay. So, this is with the 518, this is with the 520. Now, the piston is having the eligibility to have 2 movements inside the cylinder. One is the rotation and second one is translation. But according to our principles, the piston will reciprocate only in the cylinder. Who is preventing? Who is preventing? By means of some other configuration, it is linked with the crank. Okay. So, the link with the crank is preventing the piston not to rotate inside the cylinder. So, you are making some arrangement, external arrangement, right, preventing one of the motion not to happen. Got the point? So, but basic eligibility of the piston, a circular inside another bigger circular cross section, it is able to rotate and it is able to reciprocate. But you are preventing the rotation by means of external. So, it is called successfully constrained. Okay. So, by means of this, we learnt about completely constrained, successfully constrained and incompletely constrained. Thank you very much.